There was a time when exotic new car purchases were solely for the rich, and Maserati aims to do something about that with their new Ghibli. I'm Chris from AutoAcademics, and today we're going to take a look at the 2014 Maserati Ghibli S Q4. Now let me begin by saying this car is beautiful, and not beautiful in a warm and fuzzy, haven't seen you in a long time, kiss on the cheek beautiful. I'm talking the holy smokes, is that really you? Come here and give me a hug kind of beautiful. Looks, sound, it's all there. But this should come as no surprise, as Maserati has a long history of vehicular designs that stir emotions, and the Ghibli is no exception. Like the younger sister who stole a favorite outfit from her older sister's closet, the Ghibli's proportions are much tighter, and arguably more attractive than the Quattroporte. And she shows off her assets with little insecurity. So now that you've been introduced, let's get to know Ghibli a little better. Our tester is a 2014 Blue Emozione Maserati Ghibli S Q4. Optional features include the Premium Package and Sport Package. Outside, Brembo engineered brakes with blue painted calipers peek through the 19-inch machine polished Proteo style wheels that are wrapped in Pirelli P0 tires. Inside, the optional extended leather dash with Ibano wood and premium sound were added. Base MSRP is $75,700 and our tester topped out at $86,290. Alright, for all of you exotic car lovers out here, you'll notice that the engine start stop button is right there on the left. So we'll go ahead and press that and well, we'll see exactly what this Maserati Ghibli looks like. Under the hood, the Ghibli S has a 3-liter twin-turbocharged V6 that makes 404 horsepower, 406 pound-feet of torque. The engine is mated to a ZF 8-speed automatic transmission with manual selection. This combination is good for a 0 to 60 time of 4.7 seconds and a top speed of 175 miles per hour. The Q4 has an intelligent all-wheel drive system that optimizes torque from a performance-focused 100% at the rear wheels to a 50% split to the front when maximum traction is required. Fuel economy is rated at 15 miles per gallon city, 25 miles per gallon highway, with a combined rating of 18 miles per gallon. Now back inside. This car is equipped with the optional Ibano wood package. Okay, and so you've got that there in the center stack. You also have that on the door panels. Everything inside is nicely lined in leather, very premium finishes, and also this car is equipped with the two-tone dash. Now, as we take a look at the infotainment unit here on the Maserati Ghibli, you can see that it has real metal materials around the outside there. You've got a nice script writing there of Ghibli. And then right here in the center, there's a nice large 9-inch touchscreen that has decent sized icons that responds very quickly so that when you press them, it goes right to whatever it is that you're looking for, and you're able to make changes without having to wait, without having to deal with any type of delay. As we take a look at the seating, the front seats are 8-way power adjustable and have the Maserati Trident embossed on each headrest. And backseat passengers ride in similar luxury with commendable head and leg room. Around back, the trunk has a very generous 18 cubic feet of cargo space, and our tester has the optional rubber trunk mat installed. So now that we've addressed all the specifications of the Ghibli, it's finally time to show you how it drives. Alright, so as we're driving here in this 2014 Maserati Ghibli S, the Q4 version, it drives just like you would expect any type of exotic that's in the $90,000 to $100,000 price range to drive. You know, it's comfortable, yet it's still got a nice firm drive and feel to it. You know, the steering is nicely weighted, the seats are very supportive, but they're also very comfortable at the same time. So, you know, if you're taking some long trips somewhere and you know, you family in the back with you or something like that, I mean, it could actually work as a decent road trip vehicle. The suspension is nice and taut. It's a nice, tight, firm suspension, yet it's tuned well where it soaks up the bumps very nicely. Now, these things that I mentioned to you previously, they're all based on your mature side. You know, you maybe have your family in the car, maybe you're heading to work, and so you've got a more reserved presence going on. But this car, you don't buy this car strictly for things like that. People who buy cars like this, they also enjoy a little bit more of, I guess, an immature side. You know, a side where you like to have fun, you like to enjoy your vehicles, and this is one of those cars that allows you to do that. You know, I mean, with the push of a button, you can hit the sport button there and open up the exhaust. Downshifts, exhaust gets a little bit louder, and then you can hit the manual shift button there. And all of a sudden now you've got full control over your paddle shifters up here, and you know, then you can have a little bit of fun with it. The large aluminum paddle shifters are right there on the steering column, so that when you're turning the wheel, they don't move with the wheel. They're right where you left them, so you always know where to find them. And this transmission allows for some very quick shifts as well. It's not a dual clutch transmission, but for a standard 8-speed transmission, it shifts very quickly, and you know, it's fast enough for what most people need. And that allows for it also to have nice smooth shifts when you're not getting crazy. The 8-speed transmission in this car does a pretty decent job of keeping the engine its power band, but you do notice that there is a little bit of turbo lag in the lower RPMs. But once you get above, say, 3,000 RPM, those turbos are spooled up, and this engine is pulling like you really want it to pull. I drive this car, I think about how it's going to do in the market. First and foremost, you know, this is a Maserati. It's not a BMW, it's not a Mercedes. These cars typically are not mass-produced cars. I mean, they literally made less than 10,000 a year out of all their models. And now Maserati's talking about hopefully getting to the point where they're selling 50,000 models a year of just the Ghibli. So that's going to be a big change for Maserati. You know, they're going to have to make sure that their quality control is up, and that, you know, they're just taking care of their owners the way that they need to, so that they don't get 50,000 people who buy this car that all of a sudden are turned off by the brand. Now, with that being said, comparing it to a BMW or a Mercedes or something like that, you know, I guess you compare it to maybe an E55 Mercedes, maybe an M5 BMW, something like that. You know, a nice sports sedan, something that makes a lot of power, something that looks good, something that really catches people's attention. Well, this car does all of that. This car catches everybody's attention, and the sound is just amazing. It makes a sound that only exotic cars make. You know, this Ferrari-based engine really wails. I mean, that trumpet sound is just amazing, and you just can't get enough of it sometimes. So with all of those things, I think that it's definitely going to attract a lot of buyers. And you also have to keep in mind that most buyers in this price range, most buyers that would be looking at a $90,000 or $100,000 sedan, they've got other vehicles as well. So even if they had that odd time where maybe the car did run into a little problem, well, they got other vehicles that they can pull out of their stable and drive as well. That won't be, you know, it won't cause as much of a headache for those people who maybe is the only vehicle that they have. Now, as with any $90,000 car, you're gonna be allowed to have some nits to pick. And this car is no exception at all. And what I mean by that is, first and foremost, you know, you've got stuff like the shifter here, where it's really difficult to get it into the exact gear that you want. And it's not that there are a ton of gears to put it in. You know, you got park, reverse, neutral, drive, and manual. But for some reason, sometimes when you want to go into reverse, you go into neutral. Sometimes when you want to go into drive, you go into neutral. You know, I don't know if it'll get better living with this vehicle, but having only driven it for, you know, a number of days, it definitely gets a little challenging to get it in the gear that you want. Another nit to pick would be the cup holders. Now, this is an exotic car again, and so you know, some might argue that, listen, you're not supposed to eat or drink in a car like this anyway. I'm one of those people. But I gotta say that there are some mornings when I wanna come and have my cup of coffee with me, and these cup holders just aren't big enough. They're too small, so they don't hold your cup. You go, you stick it in, and it just doesn't hold your cup. Now you've got to worry about, are you going to spill your whatever your favorite drink is. So that's another nit that I feel like I need to pick. And lastly is the trunk area. It's got an 18 cubic foot trunk. That's big. That's bigger than the Kia K900 trunk. However, the opening is so tight that you're not going to get anything very large inside of that trunk, or at least it's going to be very difficult without scratching your bumper or something like that. So there are a couple areas where those would be areas where I'd say that, you know, you might be able to try and, or Maserati might want to try and make some improvements on. But again, it's an exotic car. There are always going to be some type of things that you have to give on, you know, things that you've got to kind of be okay with. And if this is it, I'm pretty good with that. You know, this car drives fantastic. It sounds even better than that, and it's a beautiful car to look at. So if the worst thing I can come up with is the trunk, the cup holders, and getting into gear, then I think this car should be okay for many people. To wrap things up, we enjoyed the time that we spent with this Maserati Ghibli. Yeah, are there some quirks about it? Of course there are. But again, you've got to remember this is an exotic car. As far as AutoAcademics is concerned, we definitely like it. We definitely recommend it as an alternative to some of the other sports sedans out there. And, well, we can't wait till the next time that we get to hop in something like this. All right, thanks for watching. I'm Chris from AutoAcademics. See you next time.